Let's explore up here first before we head down, I guess. It's a dead end. Oh my god, okay. Well, that's a shortcut and a half. Oh no! We're fine. Let's head down here. All the way down? Yeah. Grab all that. Is that a box? Just a dead end. At least it's a new cave, right? Haven't been in here before. Alright. Gotta head up. Can't use the elevator. Incendiary mining what? Mining suit? Is that what I said? Alright, cool. Wait. Whose gun is that? Whose body is that? Is that yours? No. Is there a body I didn't loot? Oh. Okay. Can't do that. Locate and destroy the Crimson Fleet Ghost. Sure. Let's set a course and fly to Callisto.
Fire everything!
And their Ram Prime is done. Target's engine is down.
They've lost ramjet capability.
Nice.
Enemy's shields gone.
Rude. I just got here. Oh. That was what I needed to destroy? Okay. There's something around here. What is that? Europa? Well, no, there's a ship or something around there. So let's fly over there and see what we got.
Excuse me, do you have a minute? Hello there. Thank you for responding to my hail. It's been a long time since I had company. I'm Dr. Sola Banglawala from MAST in New Atlantis. I'm performing a geological survey of the settled systems as part of a field research initiative. I flagged you down to see if you might have any rare geological samples to contribute.
Mass has a geology department?
A tragically understaffed one, yes. but this geological survey could earn us a big grant from the UC government, assuming I manage to finish it. A tiny staff means a tiny budget, so the only ship the Institute could afford to send me out in was this bottom-of-the-line junker. It's been slow going at best. That's why I've started hailing pilots like you for assistance.
You said it's been a long time since you had company. Are you out there alone?
Yes, I am. I've been out here for weeks without anyone to talk to. Most of the pilots I've tried hailing have either shot at me or flown off. My food and water supplies are fine, but I didn't bring nearly enough books to keep myself busy. You can only read Pride and Prejudice so many times. After my third time through it, I started using the pages to teach myself origami.
Can I expect any kind of compensation?
Of course. Fair's fair. My research produces a lot of common inorganic materials as byproducts. I'm happy to offer you some copper, lead, or aluminum. I could also pay you if you'd prefer credits, but I'm on a research scientist's budget, so don't expect much.
I have more than enough rocks to offload. I'll help if I
I
can.
can't thank you enough. I'm in the market for lithium, platinum, and vanadium right now. I'm not asking for much. I know they're hard to come by.
Here.
Thank you. Oh, this will really help with my research. I'd be happy to offer you some of the common resources produced as byproducts of my research to thank you for your help. I have more copper, lead, and aluminum than I know what to do with. I'll pay you in credits instead if you prefer, but I don't have much.
Copper, lead, or aluminum? Let's get aluminum, I guess.
All right, initiating transfer, and done. Oh, thanks again for your help.
You're welcome.
I'm going to try my luck in another system. You might want to back up a bit. This old junker's grav drive is a little on the fritz. Fly safe!
Thank you.
Sorry, this is... So, do you have any hobbies?
Oh, okay. It's actually a thing. Just a few, mainly things I can do on my ship.
If you haven't tried it yet, give origami a shot. I've been folding paper birds and flying them across the ship in 0G. Personally, I have quite a rock collection. I used to spend my weekends gathering samples on Jemison. Maybe I shouldn't have let that slip at the office, huh? That's probably why they sent me on this job instead of some poor grad student. You ever hear the one about the geologist in the music shop? It's a good one. A geologist walks into a music store and asks the cashier, "Got any rock?" The guy looks him up and down and says,
Oh, what? Well, now that's just rude. Okay. Oh, the icon is still there, though. Okay, let's fly to Titan.
You are entering United Colonies space. Please maintain course and prepare to be scanned. And we're done. Enjoy new homestead.
Wait, New Homestead? Is a... Oh my god, it's actually a city. Okay. Let's go. Get more quests. Because that's what I need. Just more quests.
New homestead, eh? This place hasn't changed much since the 2100s.
Welcome to New Homestead. Please make your way to the building at the end of the path and down into the colony below. Stay safe and enjoy your visit.
Thank you. let me sell off some shit here. Oh, no, can't sell that one. Okay. Vendor should have infinite money. Frenzy calibrated solstice. Deal double damage when gun bashing. Damage increase as health decrease. Small chance to stagger. Small chance to frenzy. Yeah, those. Frenzy equinox. Lawgiver. No, you're out of money. Dang it. Alright, fine. I'll sell the rest at some other place.
Anything I can help you with? Hey, what can I do for you?
Hey, can I ship
Looks to
repair?
me like you've already
Good. Do you have any good ships? I doubt it. 80-something thousand? No. My ship's way better. Look at that monstrosity. Spent 2 hours making it.
That tour guide showed one of the kids.
So, at the end of the path and into the colony, I guess there's really nothing out here for me to do?
Interesting. The last thing I expected to stumble across at this type of settlement is a museum. Might be worth a look around.
Hello?
Speak to Luther. Lex Luther? He's here? Alright then.
It's been a while since I last
Horus,
visited.
using
Nice to see this
security.
place still has the same charm.
Enjoy your visit. We take vandalism
UC security.
seriously here. You don't mess with history. Damn power's on the fritz again. Joyce always seems to need help clearing ice on people.
Hi there.
Citizen.
Always nice to see a new face.
Speak with Joyce. Okay. I'm just getting a bunch of stuff now, huh? What is V? Oh, okay. Man, some of the quests don't have quest markers. I keep complaining about it, but gosh darn, it's so annoying.
Some of us are quite happy with our lives here. We don't need tourists distracting us with their flights of fancy. We get a lot of tourists out this way, but most of them aren't so bold as to strike up conversations with us. What's your deal?
I'm just interested in how cultivation work on this planet.
You seem genuine enough. So what can I do for you?
What kind of challenges do you face?
From what I know about farming elsewhere, it's largely the same. Big difference is that we need to import or make our own soil. And we need to be extra careful with our temperature control. Titan's surface is frozen, and it's not much better just below it with the ice caves. Then it's just a matter of artificial sunlight and supplying CO2 for the crops. It's not too challenging.
What can you tell me about farm?
Well, for one, it's my wife Mara's farm. I just had the good fortune of marrying into it. It's been in her family for generations. We're the best source of fresh produce in the colony. Not like that processed junk we get from off-world, and certainly nothing like that eyesore chunks.
Okay. Thanks for your time.
No worries. You have yourself a day now.
You can scan the moons of your current planet. You can scan any planet or moon in the system within 16 light years. Okay, these are pretty good. You know, I'm gonna start unlocking them because that would help me scan an entire system just to see what's good on them. So I don't have to waste my time flying from planet to planet. Yeah.
It'd be nice to get away for a while, but it's difficult. People rely on the farm. Ah, someone new. Are you a tourist, or have you just moved to New Homestead?
Just, you know, visiting.
Well, there's lots to learn. You can always feel free to try one of the historical tours, or ask the locals about life here. I'm fascinated by the other worlds in the settled systems. Do you mind if I ask you a question?
Sure.
Oh, wonderful. What's New Atlantis like?
It's amazing. Huge skyscraper, beautiful skies, people from all walks of life.
Oh my, that sounds incredible. Ever since I overheard one of the tourists speaking about it, I've always wanted to go. We hear about it, of course, but we rarely get much exposure to other worlds beyond the people who come from them to visit our little colony. I wonder if I can convince Nathaniel to go on a trip there with me and our daughter. Do you mind if I ask you another question?
I don't mind.
Thanks. I promise not to take too much of your time. Is the Freestar Collective as lawless as I've heard?
Not as lawless as they lead you to believe. People still believe in rules and justice.
I figured the stories weren't all true. How else would you expect people to live together if you can't trust in laws to keep everyone safe? Even in a small community like ours, we have to maintain law and order. Though, I understand it gets difficult to always protect that out in the vastness of space. I imagine it's the same in the Freestar Collective. Is it okay if I change the subject?
Ask away.
Oh, thank you. Are there really planets full of plants, fresh air, and water?
Yeah, they're a beautiful planet teeming with life of all kinds.
I've read about them. It seems incredible, doesn't it? I've only ever known Titan, and it's always so cold and drab. I've always dreamed of visiting one to breathe the air, feel the warmth of its sun, but my husband is reluctant to leave our home. Can I ask you something else?
Sure.
Oh, wonderful. Is space travel as exciting as it seems?
It's nice, but you get used to it after a while.
I'd like to think that I wouldn't ever get used to it, that every time would be just as impressive as the first. But you're not the first person I've spoken to who has said something similar, so I have to believe that I could become just as jaded. Those are all the questions I have at the moment. Thank you so much for taking time out of your busy day for me.
No problem. She's a very nice girl. Lady.
My papa doesn't really like me talking to the tourists, but how else am I going to learn about out there? Hello? I'm not really supposed to talk with tourists.
So you said...
But I kind of want to anyway. And I don't think my papa is paying attention. You're not going to tell him, are you?
I don't think I will. Not unless he asks.
Oh. I guess that's okay. I wouldn't want to make you lie. My mama always tells me it's not good to lie. Now what should we talk about?
Do you enjoy working on the farm?
I think it's pretty fun. And I get to be around my mama and my papa all day, so that's cool. They say we all have to work a little, because it takes all of us to make the community work. Just like on Earth a really, really, really long time ago. Someday, I think it'd be cool to see other places and do other things, but this is fine for now.
Why don't your dad want you to talk to Taurus?
My mama says it's because he thinks we'd up and leave if we found out about the rest of the worlds out there. But I keep telling him, I love it here, and I love him, and I would never leave him. He doesn't believe it. He says the kids almost always want to leave when they grow up. But not me. Nope. I just want to visit somewhere else. Maybe.
Are there a lot of other kids in New Homestead?
Not really. There's some, though. Most are around my age. We all go to school in the same room.
Is school here the same as other schools in the settled systems?
I don't know. I've never been to any other schools.
I don't know why I even asked that
question. We mostly learn about the history of the Sol system and Earth and stuff like that until we get old enough to go on our learning vacation.
Like, if you actually listen to her, she hasn't been anywhere else.
Somewhere else for a few years. Or travel and visit other worlds, try out jobs and stuff. Oh, I can't wait.
Alright, cool.
Thanks for taking the time to talk with me.
No problem.
Off-worlders always ask how I can live here. I wonder how they can live anywhere else.
Residential wing?
Sure would be nice to get off-world sometime.
Alright, we went in full circle. Nice. We can either go down or to the residential wing now. I guess let's go to the residential wing. Where's the door? Uh-oh. It's back here? Yeah. You had to have a shop here, right?
Always so cold here.
That's what you run up to me to say? Alright, ciao.
Those folks in Sidonia may be closer to Earth, but we do a better job preserving its traditions.
Sweet 1, sweet 2. Alright, let's go. Sweet 1. Anyone in here?
I could really go
nope,
for some of Anya's cooking over the Realm Horse.
Sweet 2. No one. There's no point in stealing anything because you can't sell it. And besides, none of these are really worth anything anyways. Clinic. Is there nobody in the clinic? Really? No one at all. Alright. No one in the lounge either.
You get used to the methane processing smell after a while.
Hey.
Hey.
Oh, you don't really want to talk to me. I'm just a nobody from the crates. Besides, I'm not really good at talking to tourists about New Homestead. If you're really interested in our history, talk to Maurice. He's a lot better at that than I am.
I'm sure you're not a nobody.
I feel like it sometimes. I don't have many friends, and I'm struggling to stay in my undergrad program. It feels like I'm never going to get out of here and make a name for myself. Anyway, if we're going to talk, maybe we should talk about something else.
How do you feel about your home being a tourist destination?
It's not as bad as you'd think. I like talking to off-worlders, especially people my age. It gives me ideas for what I want to do when I'm done with school. Because, honestly, I'm not sure I want to stay here. It'll always be my home, but as soon as I can afford to, I'd love to explore my options.
What do you do here?
Well, I'm trying to finish up my undergrad schooling, actually. I want to be a physicist like my grandmother. Then, who knows what. But I also do some odd jobs here or there for money. Sometimes I help Jay out at his shop, and he gives me stuff in return. Sometimes I help Anya clean up at the Brown Horse when she's short-staffed. That sort of thing.
You mentioned something about the crates. What's that?
The crates are what we call the living quarters for the poor people, like me. They're made from old shipping containers. We have to make do with the space we have here. They're comfortable enough, I guess. And no one on Titan is well off to begin with, but you can tell that people look down on us, especially some of the tourists.
You're having trouble with your studies?
Okay, well, no. Not the studies specifically. Like, I get good grades when I'm able to apply myself. But I'm poor. I just don't have the kind of money to be a full-time student and support myself. Even living in the cheap-ass crates.
I can invest.
I keep having to take
I
odd
have
jobs
$400,000.
just to put food on my plate. And when I do, my grades suffer. I just feel like I'll be stuck in a rut forever.
Here, consider this a scholarship.
What? Really? I don't know what to say. This is beyond kind of you. I mean, I don't even know you, but... Wow. Thank you.
I'm pleased that you realize the importance of a decent education. Talk to you later.
Thanks again for what you did for me. I'll remember your generosity. See you around, maybe.
All right. It's only 20 grand? I mean, 20 grand is a lot of money. Let's be honest here. It's a shit ton of money. I could use with 20 grand right now. But I don't think 20 grand is enough to finish any kind of schooling.
Did you know the museum here is full of old...
Maurice.
Hello there. Are you here to peruse our little museum exhibit?
You can't just put crappy old junk in display and call it a museum.
Just like the rest of New Homestead.
I didn't... Nah, museum aren't really my thing.
I understand. But I believe that everyone is at least a little curious about where they came from. And we can only do that by learning about history. For instance, take a look at some of the rare Earth antiquities we've assembled here. Imagine we went from the technologies used to make these trinkets to crossing the stars. Anyhow, I wasn't interested when I was younger. I can only hope I piqued your interest. If you have any questions about the exhibit or New Homestead, I'm happy to answer as best as I can.
What can you tell me about New Homestead?
It's an interesting story. New Homestead began as a scientific research base called the Titan Astrobase. back when space travel was in its
Oh my god, his
infancy.
voice is so...
The hope was that humanity would be able to discover simple alien
Boring?
life here, given the moon's composition
Oh
and
my
water
god,
supply.
as a history
When that
buff,
ultimately failed,
you need to
it
sound
was
exciting.
repurposed as
Because
a
history is
colony
already so
research
boring
base
most of the
where
time. You
Scientists
cannot be
and
speaking like
engineers
this and
studied how to
expect
build
people to
colonies
also
on
get into history.
inhospitable worlds. Then, finally, when gravity
You need to
drives
sound
were
exciting.
commonplace and
You
we
need to be
started
more energetic.
finding Earth-like planets, New Homestead was
You can't
born
just
as a
speak
living
like this and
history
just have-
community
oh
to
my God.
preserve that past.
Okay, everyone here is such an interesting family name. What's the deal with that?
When our early colonists learned of Earth's demise, they decided to take on the names of their cities of origin as a way to remember their heritage. Now, some may have been lost in translation over the years, and some may have taken it more seriously than others, but the names are mostly accurate. For instance, my family comes from the city of Lyon, in a country that was called France.
Who are you and what do you do?
I am Maurice Lyon, and I am the community elder. As the oldest living citizen at 96, my only job is to keep Earth history alive. I tell stories to the young people and the visitors from other worlds. Although my memory isn't what it used to be, I try my best to get the stories right.
Can you tell me a story about Earth?
Sure, I'd love to. There was once a war, so big that they say all of the world was involved. This was actually the second time it happened. They fought because a terrible man named Hitler rose to power and slaughtered many innocents. Millions were lost. Even the colony war pales in comparison. Why, certainly. It's what I do. There was a time when huge monstrosities called dinosaurs ruled over Earth, long before humans existed. They were similar to some of the larger life forms you might see elsewhere in the settled systems. Their reign ended when I can never remember if it was a comet, an asteroid, or a meteor that hit the Earth. Whatever it was, it nearly wiped out most of the life at that time. Of course, certainly. We have several items in our collection that we have most of our...
I can't
Thanks
listen
for
to you
visiting.
anymore. You are so boring.
I'm always looking to trade for off-world goods. Well, hello there, and welcome to my little shop. Are you visiting New Homestead for the first time?
Maybe. Sometimes I party a little too hard and wind up in strange places.
Oh, that's funny. It happens to the best of us, I guess. I'm Jay. I'm happy to help you find what you're looking to buy or take a look at whatever you want to sell. Trades of all kinds are welcome here. Or if you have any questions for me about the shop, the merchandise, or even just New Homestead in general, I'm happy to help you.
Do you sell any souvenirs or anything like that?
We used to, but not anymore. Believe it or not, the New Homestead Tourism Board decided a while back to do away with souvenirs. We don't really have the resources or facilities to make them here ourselves, and it was decided that anything less than that would seem exploitive of our people and inauthentic. Only thing we have are these souvenir slates about the history of New Homestead. Tell you what, I've got an extra one here that another guest left behind a while back. You can have it.
What do you think about the tourists?
I love them. Most of us in New Homestead appreciate what tourism does for our economic livelihood, so we go out of our way to make guests feel welcome. Some are indifferent about it, while a few others, I won't name names, are downright resentful of all the tourists and would prefer to be left alone. But that being said, I believe our generally friendly demeanor is a large part of what drives people to keep coming back.
You mentioned something about trading. What sort of things are you looking for?
Glad you asked. I'm looking for all sorts of things. Anything, really. Clothing, weapons, jewelry, even stuff they consider junk. You name it. We don't get a lot of off-world stock, so I offer to buy things from travelers. Anything they're willing to part with. Between you and me, people around here talk a lot about tradition and whatnot, but even they get curious about what other worlds have to offer.
All right, let me take a look.
Sure thing. I'm also interested in buying if you have anything for sale.
Oh my god. 12%? Let me just grab a bunch of those. Mainly I'm giving him money so I can, you know, buy it. Uh-huh. Don't need that. I'm buying. Whoops. Why is this automatically switching to buy? So weird. Now we don't need that. Okay.
Come back anytime.
Yeah.
Careful. There are some dangerous areas around here that are not part of any tours.
Word of advice? Steer clear of the doctor. She really seems to have a problem with tourists.
I don't mind the tourists. They help the local economy.
We used to get more tourists than we do these days.
Other tourists come to learn about the ice mines, huh? It's dangerous in the ice mines. I'd much rather answer your questions than have you going off to explore on your own.
Why don't you have robots or other machines do this work?
For one, New Homestead is not a wealthy colony. But we also pride ourselves on doing things the old ways. It's part of the living history, they say. We don't mind. We work hard here. It's very rewarding.
Ice mines? Why do we need to mine ice?
For drinking water. And we use some of it to produce this air you're breathing. We recycle a lot of what we use, but we still need a nice, steady supply of fresh water. Lucky for us, Titan provides.
What's so dangerous about the mines?
I'm surprised I still get this question. It's slippery, it's sharp, it can break, it can cave in. Those are just the obvious examples. Titan is also full of methane, which can sometimes be trapped under the ice. As you know, methane can explode under the right conditions. It can also asphyxiate you if you breathe in too much of it.
As a fellow miner, I can respect the dangers you face.
Ah, so you can relate. It's good to talk with someone who understands the challenges of the job. Not everyone does. If I might ask, what do you mine?
Minerals mostly, to be sold in industrial purposes.
Ah, I see. I can respect that. We used to do more traditional mining like that here, but it made much more sense to do it off-world, since it takes a lot more effort for less gain. We mostly export methane and other natural gases instead. Anyway, I'm sure we could swap mining stories all day, but I really should be getting back to what I was doing soon.
All right.
Stay
Cool
safe.
talking to you, dude.
It must be difficult trying to survive when this collection of shipping containers is all you have for permanent accommodations.
Dying for something to do, boss. Hey, boss. Welcome to my old stomping grounds.
That's a good point. They already gawk at us like we're some
Yeah, ask away.
curiosity.
Oh, I'm just trying to have a little fun.
Shouldn't be a problem.
You're probably right.
Where you from?
You heard of New Homestead in the Sol System? Most people have.
We're here.
It's out in the sticks, on one of Saturn's moons. That's where I grew up. Not exactly the most exciting place to be a kid. It's got a lot of ice, a lot of wind, and not much of anything else. I wasn't exactly torn up about leaving to work for Argos. If my family weren't still working the wind farms there, I don't think I'd ever go back.
There are wind farms on Titan?
Oh yeah, big time. New Homestead was one of the first places people settled after we left Earth. Back then, wind power was all the rage. Some of the equipment at the farm's been around since the first generation of settlers made it to Titan. And it shows, let me tell you. Lots of people in New Homestead work there, including my mom. It's not the greatest job, but it sure beats the ice mines.
Will you tell me more about growing up here?
Boss, I spent most of my time collecting rocks. For fun. That should tell you everything you need to know about the bustling metropolis that is New Homestead. The place makes Sidonia look like the big city. I had more fun freezing my ass off looking for meteorites than most New Homesteaders do in their entire lives.
How often do you visit your family?
Not enough, according to my mom. But I try to get back every couple months. And I keep in touch when I'm not there.
I can see why you feel that way.
Yeah, I never saw myself living in New Homestead forever. To tell you the truth, I hope my family splits too. My mom's always talked about retiring to Jemison. Of course, that'd be a whole lot easier if she didn't have so many kids to look after. New Atlantis isn't exactly cheap. Hopefully she'll be able to move someday, though. I worry about her. Wind farming's a pretty dangerous job. Maybe someday, when my brothers are older.
How do you end up working with Argos?
Lynn convinced me. She and some Argos miners stopped by my hometown on Titan to refuel, and I happened to be on shift at the spaceport that day. I noticed some rare minerals in her cargo hold and started chatting with her about them. She was impressed by how much I knew about geology and offered me the gig. It wasn't a hard sell. Lynn seemed like a decent boss, and the salary was great. Besides, my rock collection had gotten as big as it was gonna get on Titan.
Are you and Lynn very close?
Yeah, we are. She's been my boss for a long time. I think of her as a friend. Don't tell her I said this, but she's not as much of a hard ass as she'd like you to think. And despite what she says, I know she has a soft spot for me.
You have a rock collection?
Hell yeah, I do. I've been working on it for years. I used to collect mineral samples from meteorites that hit Titan, or buy them off pilots at the spaceport. Lynn even contributed to it. She offered me a good-sized chunk of tantalum for my collection, as a signing bonus.
Do you ever dig up anything strange in the artifact I found?
No way. Whatever you found down there had some seriously weird energy coming off of it. Honestly, I hope I never see something like that again in my life.
How long have you worked at Argos?
8 years, give or take a couple months. It's been a great job. Pays decent, and my rock collection's never looked better.
Hope you don't regret leaving too much.
I don't. Really. After what happened on Vectera, I seriously needed a break from Argos. And you're not shy about cracking rocks either, so I still get my fix.
Will you tell me about your family?
Well, my dad's not in the picture, but I have the best mom in the settled systems. More brothers than you can shake a stick at, too. Raising us gave Mom a real run for her money. It's a miracle she didn't leave us to freeze at one of the ice mines on Titan. We got in all kinds of trouble as kids.
Do you mind if I ask what your dad is?
Couldn't tell you. He split to join a spacer group when I was young, and I haven't heard from him since. Broke my poor mom's heart.
How old were you when he left?
I was 12. He left while I was out collecting rocks with a couple of my brothers. Didn't say goodbye or anything. Real class act, huh?
How did your family take it?
Mom took it the hardest. She and my dad were together a long time. I don't think she saw it coming. I sure didn't. And most of my brothers were too young to get what was happening, but they could tell how upset our mom was. That was hard on everyone. But hey, we got through it okay in the end. My mom and I leaned on each other and managed to keep things running while we got back on our feet.
Have you ever tried to get in contact with them?
Nope, and I don't plan on it. He made it pretty clear that he didn't want to know me, so I don't want to know him either.
You don't sound that torn up about it.
I'm not. My family means a lot to me, and my dad treated him like crap, so I didn't have a very hard time writing him off.
How many brothers do you have?
I've got 6. Evan, Tim, Ethan, Shane, Lucas, and Finn. Or, boys, get the hell down here, as our mom likes to call us. I'm the oldest by a couple years. Finn's the youngest, he's only 10, and the rest of them are moody teenagers.
Will you tell me more about your mom?
She's a new homesteader, born and raised. Her family's been working the wind farm since the first generation of settlers made it to Titan. She's a great mom. Never lets anyone put her kids down. You should have seen how mad she got when she found out people at school were making fun of my rock collection. She was so determined to get me to stick with it that she read every geology book I had so she could ask me about my collection. That meant a hell of a lot to me.
I can see you being the kind of kid that causes trouble.
Yeah, you can say that again. My brothers and I are always up to something. It's a good thing I grew up in a town where our definition of getting into trouble was screwing around with old mining equipment. We would have raised all sorts of hell in a big city like New Atlantis.
Alright.
Knock yourself out, boss.
Can you tell me more about your rock collection?
Already taken care of, boss. I donated it to one of the tour companies in New Homestead. Geological formations are one of Titan's big tourist attractions. It hurt my heart a little to give it up, but the woman I donated them to promised they'd give me credit for collecting all the samples, assuming she ever puts them on display. Whether she does or not, I'm glad to know all my hard work won't be gathering dust in a storage unit somewhere.
Alright.
Sounds good.
We should have a talk when you have
It's
the
one
time.
thing to learn about early colony.
When you have a moment, I'd like to speak to you. Thanks for taking time to chat. I really need a friendly ear right about now. I received a message from Constellation, and it's given me a lot to think about.
Hope it isn't bad news.
Not at all. It's just a list of requests, but when you read between the lines, it's obvious my absence is causing issues.
Are you receiving these messages often?
No, it's the first time. But the fact that they're reaching out, well, it's given me a lot to think about.
Are you upset that I'm keeping you away from the lodge?
You're not keeping me out here. I am. Just... Here, let me explain. Before I joined Constellation, I served for 8 years as the head of the Navigator Corps, until the UC decided to axe the department.
What does this have to do? What exactly was a Navigator Corps?
It was a branch of the United Colonies Navy, a small fleet of ships outfitted for galactic exploration. Basically, a military version of Constellation.
8 years isn't a bad run for anything government related.
Had we notched some significant achievements, I'd agree with you. You see, the top brass demanded press-worthy discoveries to justify the spending, and money was tight after the war. Shutdown was inevitable. At the end of the day, I was in charge, so the blame obviously fell on my shoulders.
That sort of bureaucratic nonsense is exactly why I left it all behind.
Well, perhaps it was easy for you, but my obligations to the UC didn't allow me to simply pick up and leave. Sorry. Things are tough for me right now, and I need you to listen. You once told me that you favored the journey over the destination. So I'm hoping you'll understand what I'm trying to say. I failed because I was more concerned about exploring the stars than pushing a pencil.
Your division never had any single significant discovery?
That depends on your definition of significant. Discover a rare neutron star, and no one cares. But slap a picture of a kooky alien life form on SSNN, and suddenly you're a goddamn rock star. It's all about the propaganda, what gets the people excited. That's what the United Colonies was focused on at the time.
Nonsense. No one would have pushed harder than you.
That's just it, though. Did I push too hard? Did they shut us down because I wasn't quietly sitting at my desk approving meaningless memos? We'll never know.
So this message, you're taking as a sign of things to come.
Yes, maybe. Call it whatever you want. My drive, my initiative, my optimism. It's been my greatest strength and my worst nightmare. It elevates me to these positions of authority, but all I want to do is explore, not sit and make sure all the accounts are balanced.
You're afraid that your absence will cause Constellation to collapse.
Yes, exactly. If it's obvious to you, imagine how obvious it is to someone like Barrett or Mateo. Oh, they must be itching to replace me by now. God damn it.
Don't worry, Sarah. We'll figure this out together.
Oh my god. I'm so sorry. Oh, here you are trying to help me and I'm yelling at you. You have to understand. Once Aja retired, I lost the only person that gave a damn.
Ouch. And right to my face, too.
You'd think I'd realize by now that I can always depend on you to lighten the mood. Wow, that was a hell of a ride, wasn't it? Oh, I'm sorry to put you through all that. But thank you for being there and listening. It helped. It really did.
Okay.
If you need medical attention, see Dr. Lakota. But a word of warning.
It's a
she
little
really
weird
doesn't
that
care
people
for
come here to
tourists.
see what early colony life was like. To me, it's just how we live.
Well, we used to get more tourists than we do these days.
Why not order some food and make yourself comfortable? Welcome, I'm Anya. Is this your first time with us at the Brown Horse Tavern?
Yes, I've never been here before.
Oh, well, thank you for joining us. You're in for a real treat. We've got an assortment of food and drinks, some of which follow homemade recipes that have been passed down over hundreds of years. So, what can I do for you?
What is this place?
You mean the Brown Horse? Well, it's only the longest continuous running restaurant since humans started settling outside of Earth. There's a lot of history within these walls, and some damn fine food and drink, if I say so myself. This place has been in my family for generations. My however many, great-grandmother opened it when the first colony started on Titan. Back then, it was a simple mess hall that she chose to put a little extra love and flavor into. And now, it's the pride of New Homestead.
I saw the Chunks restaurant out there. Does it hurt your business?
Oh, hardly. The locals pretty much stay away from Chunks, so whenever they don't feel like cooking themselves and want a fresh meal, they come to me. Only the tourists eat that junk. But don't tell that to my husband. He manages the Chunks. I love him, but he's a bit of a fanatic about it.
All right, let me see your menu.
Let me show you what we have.
That looks good. That's good.
Take care. Thanks for stopping by.
Feel free to look around.
Let me save.
Don't touch.
Alright guys, it's been 6 hours. I am going to go get some dinner, and I'll be back later today. For you on YouTube, I'll see you guys tomorrow. Have a wonderful day, guys. This game has been pretty fun so far. I need to Google how to continue the main quest, because, yeah, there's a problem. And, yeah. Okay, anyways, I will see you guys laters. Bye.